shit. Yeah, one more game.
Alright, then what you gonna do? And then look for swimming lessons.
Bye.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. These guys victorious a week ago, trying to make it 2 in a row here. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go for 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in the age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
They'll drop the throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
To the sideline.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They'll set up the throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson. And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand? So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a loss of 1.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
At the 3-yard line.
And they'll run again. And he will take this one in for a Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Tyler Luke now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Next to score, Seahawks 7.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Fisher. And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up second down. Here's a 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to have a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Or shifts past him. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
That's another Rams 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up a throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. One back at the 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? 3rd level run, 1st level being the D-line, and linebacker 2nd level, and the secondary the 3rd. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Riley Patterson out for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. As we take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns, he is right up there amongst the best in the NFL. Throwing to start the drive. Hobbs. Short throw. That's caught by Davis. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Seattle.
Up the middle they go. It's Stevenson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
And the Seahawks first down.
He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
Defense.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up second and goal at the 2-yard line.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 14-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drama, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second and 4. Throwing middle, and it's complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Will Johnson. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started. The way that they're going about doing things right now, they've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
24-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Red. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll run on 1st down. Stevenson. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Here's 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Operating from the gun. Hobbs. And he will slide on the scramble. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this is going to be another 1st down, as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 27-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Seahawks 1st down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Looking to throw. Hobbs. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle.
From 19 yards away. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drops. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
At the 20-yard line.
Looking to throw. The kicker here, it's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a gain of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Hey, check.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. The Rams at 8-8 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Fisher. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now back to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Back to throw. Hobbs. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen. It'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just got to wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drive too many in that department. Third down.
Brings up third down and 4.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. Ended up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up fourth down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to 42. From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
Looking to throw. Hobbs.
At the 42-yard line.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
First down, Seahawks.
On first down, it's Stevenson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy Miller move, stopped short of the 40.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and inches.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 1 yard. First down, Seattle.
He's going to keep this again. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Hobbs. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly.
Slot man moves right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
On for the field goal. A 51-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
16.
He'll drop to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably... And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Hobbs. That's taken in by Franklin.
Complete to Troy Franklin. An 8-yard pickup.
They'll run on first down. Stevenson. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Hobbs going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
7 yards to go.
And he bats it away and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So halftime here out west, let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports halftime report.
Our trip through.
Only 30 minutes left in the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
2nd and 12 at the 26-yard line.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Hobbs. Caught right side. Davis. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. At the 21.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
41-yard line.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2 at their 49-yard line.
Going back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 4-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
At the 40-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A good down to possibly take a shot. And, in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's another Rams first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Pass on first down.
From the 17, here's second and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd down and 4.
And he's wrapped up. Taken down at the 25. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
The line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Back to throw. Hobbs. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards.
First down, Seattle.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So potentially a turning point here in the 3rd quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines. Tackle him. 2nd guy in, tackle the ball.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. This time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6.
Motion, motion, motion.
touchdown. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. From the 31, here's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 now. Over the middle, it's complete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Quickly completed to the right flat. But he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the
38-yard line.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
That's another Rams 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Back to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the play.
3-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal on the Seahawks 3-yard line.
He'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
3rd and goal.
The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. They'll go with the keeper. And he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful for a yard out. And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterbacks, when they get low the line, they did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. Ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
And they will ring him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That man tries to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here. And act like the last series just didn't happen.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake. Hobbs. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
33-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Second and 11. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. There he goes, right side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
On his loop for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the L.A. offense ready for this next possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 102 yards rushing for him now as he is finishing off the regular season with a bang.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
He'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And 4.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when you're for the game, you really have no chance to win the football game.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. On first down, Stevenson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
He'll get that complete to Franklin. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year and 4th overall. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. And they just powered it in right there, Charles. 3 tight ends out on the field. The fullbacks for the defense, they knew what was coming.
They knew, but they weren't able to stop them. They knew they had to meet them with a little bit of force. But on that play, the big guys up front won the day.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now throw right side here going to be incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Hobbs. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. 28 yards. And the Seahawks stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable. The regular opponent was playing a partner. They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
At the 28-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Fisher.
That's good for a Rams first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
They'll set up to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on fourth down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And they'll run the option to start the drive.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
38-yard line. It's a pickup of 3.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. A short throw, that's caught by Davis.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's third down.
Bring up fourth down.
Tyler Luke now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Seahawks, the win will be their 12th now on the campaign. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Rams,
they wanted desperately to finish above 500, but that will not happen as it is an 8-9 season in the end.
And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.